He buried his nose against Marrok's chest. "We'll keep looking. You'll find someone alive, I promise." He hoped he was telling the truth. It was breaking his heart to see Ned grieving. He stroked the dog's head. "Come on. We'll go and join the rescue teams on the other side of the mountain. You can show those other dogs how smart you are." And Marrok would be walking a tightrope and have to lie himself blue in the face if he was challenged by anyone. Well, it wasn't as if that would be unfamiliar territory. He had become an expert at both over the years. Ned was worth any amount of trouble he had to face. He got to his feet. "Let's go," he said gently. "No reason for staying here. We can't help him." He put a marker on the spot for body retrieval. "It will be better if we—" Ned was no longer beside him. He was running across the rubble, his lean, midnight black body taut with eagerness. He had caught another scent, Marrok realized, and he was following it with reckless speed. It seemed the dog wasn't ready to obey him, he thought ruefully. It wasn't surprising, since their relationship was that of close friends rather than master and canine. They had long ago passed that point. "Okay. We'll go your way for a while." He took off after Ned. "But you'd better be right this time. I can't spend all night comforting you." But he knew he'd do precisely that. You didn't question when a friend was in need. He'd almost caught up with Ned, and the lab was staring at him hopefully. "Let's make a deal." He started to bend to shift the debris. "If we don't find anyone this time, you give it up and do it my—" A whistle of sound streaked by his cheek. Ned cried out and fell to the ground, blood pouring from his side. "A bullet, damn it!" Marrok fell sideways, grabbed Ned's collar, and rolled with him behind the ruin of the house. Another bullet splintered the timber next to Marrok as he pulled out his gun. It had come from the direction of the trees to the south of the site, not the military. They would have questioned him before shooting at him. That red cross on Ned's halter would have required it. His gaze searched the trees as he moved to the side. Another bullet. One shooter, and determined to make the kill. Danner? Maybe. God, he'd hoped he'd sidetracked them in Morocco, but they must have uncovered his trail. The solution was the same as always. Kill the shooter, disappear. It would take time for them to send someone else on his trail. But he couldn't leave Ned. The lab was hurt and bleeding. He couldn't take time to go after the shooter. Not now. He had to stop Ned's bleeding and get him help. He dodged 2 bullets while he dragged Ned farther behind the timbers. He sprayed a barrage of bullets at the trees before starting work to stop the bleeding. There wasn't much, thank God. Ned lay still, only whimpering occasionally. Marrok didn't think the wound was terminal, but he couldn't tell in the darkness. Anger exploded through him. "Come after me, you son of a bitch. Let me have my chance at you. Shoot my dog? I'll tear your heart out." But he could hear voices coming from the direction of the rescue site on the other side of the mountain. Someone had heard the shots, damn it. He wasn't going to get his opportunity to make the kill. The shooter wouldn't risk going after him and exposing himself to awkward questions. Danner didn't like questions. He stroked Ned's head. "It's going to be okay. We'll get you fixed up. There's almost always a vet on these mercy missions." He glanced at the trees from where the bullet had come. It was only a postponement. The shooter wouldn't give up. He'd stick around and wait for another opportunity to take them out. Danner disliked failure almost as much as he did questions. "And then, I promise I'll make sure that bastard never has another go at you." Shit. Kingston lowered his Remington, slid down the trunk of the palm tree, and sprinted back into the woods. He'd go back and cover his tracks later. He wasn't worried about the locals hunting him down. Marrok was the threat. Kingston had read every word of the report Danner had given him.